Hello.
Ladies
here.
and gentlemen, roosters and hens and everything else in between, we are back. We are Cock Talk, and we have a very special guest this week. And I've remembered his last name. It's too simple. I can't remember. I can't believe I didn't remember it last time. At Daniel Smith Dev is here with us, representing the White Beak Gang.
White Beak Gang.
And as always, we have myself at MBF Express, Tyler. We have our trusty engineer that is desperately trying to make this harder for everyone by changing the layout once again, but it looks great. At Grateful Coops, Josh, and the man with the theories, Blake, at Waddle Waddle Racing Coop. How are you doing, guys, fellas?
Doing good. I feel like when Josh is getting ready to start the podcast, it's like we're getting ready to launch into space. He's like looking at all the controls. He's like,
Climb aboard my spaceship, mates. Let's do this.
He's really belligerent. He tells us to shut up all the time. It's an abusive relationship, but I'm here for it. It's fine.
Hey, someone's got to drive this ship.
So yes, the guest, Daniel. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, no, I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. Daniel helped us with our website, coopcollective.io, and launched that out there, and we've been partnered up ever since. Mm-hmm. Once again, it was one of those things where we met and started doing business in about 5 seconds. That seems to be the way that we operate around here.
Very natural.
Yeah. So I need to turn that down. All right. So we are here to give a little bit of a showcase to the community, and that's what was something we really wanted to focus on, is that if anyone around here is making stuff and is being creative and is coming up with new things, we want to be a part of it for sure. And obviously, the more and more we heard about White Beak Gang and everything that Daniel is going to bring to the table with it, and his group that he already has that have very loyal followers and whatnot, we were all about it. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we wanted to take an episode here to get into a little bit of detail about what White Beak Gang is, and just show the community what kind of things are going to be coming around. And I'm sure there'll be even more stuff coming as we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So just a basic idea. We know that obviously to be in the White Beak Gang, you need a white beak. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But let's
only 2,000 of them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Which is I think it was like 2171, something right in that range, something pretty close to that.
Exactly. That's right.
So, but we don't want to be exclusive. So tell us a little bit more about just why you came up with it and where this whole thing kind of came from. I know that one post that the Apex put out kind of exploded everything, and then the fever just ran off.
Yeah, no, you really touched on it there. Basically, what happened was, Apex put out that post really early on about the White Beak cosmetic, about how only 6.5%, of these chickens have this. And they kind of asked the question, like, what advantage could this have, right? We thought about that. We weren't really sure, but we knew that starting off, any advantage that is explicit was something worth taking advantage of. So we kind of all started buying up these chickens and started looking at these as something worth obtaining. And kind of all started grouping together because we were all of the same mind, right? We're all very like-minded in that regard. Right. And since we all kind of were seeing the same sort of value in the market, we all kind of wanted to start to work together and kind of unite our efforts, if you will. And another big thing too is coming from, Zed Run and that community over there, and seeing how that's evolved over time. Nothing against, Zed. I love Zed. I love the community, but there are a lot of ways that they can really, I think, improve. And I think that Chicken Derby has done a really good job of avoiding a lot of those pitfalls. And I think it's really up to us in the community to make sure that we maintain that level, right? And we keep that quality. And that's something that White Beak Gang really holds to its core, is maintaining the quality for the entire community as a whole. And like you said, we do not believe in exclusivity. We think that everybody belongs. You do have to have a White Beak to be in, quote unquote, in the White Beak Gang, but you don't have to have one to hang out with us. Our Discord's public and open to everyone. Yeah. And there's a lot of things we will be doing for the community as a whole.
Yeah, and that's really something that just like grabbed us right away, because that's the kind of way it's something we've been saying since day one. We don't want to gatekeep. We want to make things really accessible for everybody, and the rising tide lifts all ships.
No coop, too small, no shame. There's no shaming in anything around the chat. And that's what's fun. And people have like great discussions and they can disagree on things, but at least at the end of the day, they leave that discussion not heated or trolled, or, you know what I mean? It's just,
Absolutely.
The community
No,
in there is great, and you guys, kind of emphasize that and continue that.
No, definitely. It's something that we all recognize. Being in multiple different NFT projects, there's something about the Chicken Derby community that really does stick out. And I mean, I'm extremely just happy to be a part of it for sure.
Dude,
And
some of those chats are just absurd.
wild. Yeah, seriously.
No one say Rocket Factory or I'm leaving. Don't say it.
Tom,
See you later.
Oh, bye.
Done. Okay, unplug this thing.
See ya.
Yeah. See ya.
Still have PTSD for the way that went down.
Before we forget, we have a birthday too, don't we?
Son of a.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I'm getting tired of saying thank you. I don't take compliments well.
Hey, we got I'm gonna tease a little something. There's something special about that today, actually. We'll find out about that later.
Yeah. Someone actually made me a present. How about that? After all that, after I demanded a present, I finally got one.
Absolutely.
Besides delicious caramels. But.
First, just to pause here, if you're stopping in for the first time, make sure you like and subscribe the old podcast here, and check out our Twitter page at Cock Talk Derby, or the Coop Collective.io website that we've got, where
tell some friends.
Yeah, hit them up, tell them to hang out, and thank Daniel for helping us get that set up.
Thank you guys. We're all in this. Share the good news.
So another part of this that we love about the community is, before we get too far into the White Beak Gang and how awesome they are and or possibly can become, let's jump over to the old CJ Butterman weekly roundup and check out some floor prices.
We need to start getting sounders for this stuff, like little segments.
He's got to pick it though.
I think
Butterman, hit us up with whatever you want for a sounder.
The sound of butter being spread onto toast.
Butter.
What is this gonna become, an ASMR podcast?
Oh, I don't know.
Butter.
Can we start calling them Butter's Bottoms?
Oh, what's funny? There's probably a lot of people in the chat that actually think it's my birthday, and I hate it. So thank you again.
Can't believe it's not butter. No.
I really do have a birthday coming up myself.
So yeah, I grabbed Butterman's awesome, and he times these pretty well on Sundays and drops them about the same time. So I was able to grab today's weekly roundup. As we see, the Cerama floor gains a little while. The other heritages take a small dip. Not a lot of action again in the perfection section, with 92s and 95s making 7% gains, as the 98 floor leads the way with a 10% gain. Yeah.
Sorry. That may have been our fault. We are well aware. There was actually someone that commented on that and was like, we better not see you packing your bags before the shows. And I thought it was funny, but I meant to make sure that when I went on there, and I was like, we're very cognizant of this. We really don't want to try to pump anything. But yeah, Harvey saying that 98s were a little undervalued last week. Yeah, they aren't anymore.
Yeah, they are not indeed.
Good job.
Get bigger.
All right,
can't blame us for just bringing what is obvious to everybody, right?
Right.
Well, that's it. And as long as, and you can see the transactions, and as long as you don't see our transactions, as long as it's not a OpenSea front page kind of scheme running around. Oh
yeah,
as long as nothing like that happens, none of us are named Nate. And we're going to be as honest as we can about the situation. I still feel bad for that guy, and I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we had some news. For the most part, our dev blog this week was just a little light. It's still talking about a good amount of progress coming along with the game. They're not quite ready to give us a shot of the racing, because they really want to knock it out of the park when they show it to us. Mm-hmm. But of course, the big thing that happened this week was naming, to the chagrin of all of our Australian friends who had to fall asleep, as 9 o'clock was a temporary time.
Oh yeah, there were some not happy people about that.
That's
and not much notice. And I mean, it was casually dropped in the main Chicken Coop Discord chat, and Yeah, I mean, that's why you got to be active and pay attention. I mean, it's not a knock on anybody for just hanging out all day, but you know that you hang out, you get rewarded. You know, it's that kind of thing. And they've kind of touched on that in the past of, you know, if you're active in the chat, you're going to be rewarded, and you never know what's going to get dropped by Apex or any one of the devs.
Yeah, and in a global community like this really is, the timing's tough. Like that's just the problem. Like I felt bad. There was someone that asked if we were ever going to do this at a different time, and they were like, it's 3 a.m. in Europe, and it's like, I know it's tough. Like this is the only time once our kids go to bed we can actually show up and do this thing. So,
But what time is that for them? Aren't they in the Netherlands? I mean, it's got to be
right now.
No, I mean like when they do the drops, like when they
it's evening
when they did the
do
name
those.
drop, right? Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like super late, right?
7 o'clock. Because I think at what? Oh, geez, what was it? When
The thing is they can't please everybody in the world, right? It's a worldwide game. You're not going to be able to please everybody with your time. At least they've been consistent pretty much. I mean, I think it's at the end of their workday, it seems. You know, like when they're closing shop, they're like, let's drop the next news, you know. So
White Pickle wants to do us on Saturday nights. We have lives. I have a wife that I have to make happy. Saturday nights. That's date nights. That was from the chat. Yeah,
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will be. I mean, we'll be a lot more live, I'm sure, once racing starts and we get to call some races and.
We're gonna try to move that around a little bit and do some different times. We're actually going on, somehow it worked out perfectly. We are going on Crypto Poppy's show tomorrow at noon Eastern. So yeah, you'll get us during the day there. That's kind of crazy. So it just so happened that these two guys got off work. Don't tell their bosses. So I
blocked it out.
Yeah.
I even told one of the radio guys.
Sure.
I was like, he's like, are you going to be available next week for a meeting so we can sit down and talk about something? And I'm like, after our department head meeting at 9 o'clock, I'm not available until about noon. So
I've done enough for you people.
Yeah, lay off me.
All right. So before we dive into a little bit deeper into the White Beak Gang,
do you want to hit on any of these prices of floors?
Yeah, what are you seeing there? What is there anything that's really jumping out at you?
Not really, other than the 98s jumped up from where Harvey talked about them last week, and not so subtle way.
Yeah, yeah. I still have the chicken sales on notification, and I've found out that not all of them go through there because some of the guys that are in Coop Collective say they've made a purchase. We see the purchase and it doesn't pop up, but for the most part, it seems like undervalued stuff still selling. The White Beaks are still selling. I still see them pop in at one every 6 or 7, which is kind of crazy with the amount that they actually have. They're still very much selling because there's something there. Obviously, we'll learn more about that shortly.
I mean, the one thing I think sorry to interrupt, to answer your question that you asked. The thing I really have noticed, I guess, is some of these rare and uncommon talents have kind of dipped a little bit, and the floor is pretty much the floor down here at 0.06 and 7 range. White Beak's getting up there. They've jumped up a little. It's a 0.092. But the thing I noticed here is these, moving walkway and devolution have dropped down some in the past, couple weeks, and they haven't really been. Cold Snap's still kind of holding up because that graphic is still fresh in some people's minds, I think. And, the graphic hype is real. I mean, Jetpack is now just finally kind of starting to creep down there.
Yeah, I went from having no Jetpacks to having 3 because the last 3 times I found a good deal, it's been Jetpack. Yeah. So it's finally lost its luster. And I still wonder if we see like Jetpack engage in the first racing video they send out to us, it's going to come right back.
The first ones that go off are the ones that are gonna see the markets on those.
Excitement.
Yes, Papa Johnny, I hope the Anvil talent ends up being the best as well. I hope that thing isn't nerfed to all the way to nothing. So
it is still funny. It is still really funny that we've just put completely arbitrary breakdowns on which these talents we like, what we think they're going to do. Dig's still disrespected, forever will be. The number 1 chicken has Dig, yet it's still disrespected, which I still think was wild to find out.
So many disrespected birds out there. Which we may be doing a little sniping on the show later, right?
Yeah, we got a little bit of that planned.
Snipe.
Yeah, we got our first Coop Collective bird last night. We got a nice 96 moving walkway for 0.2, and then that shot up. It's really nice. We were running around there. It was the perfect time when we took a little bit of our earnings and threw them in there, and we're going to start building that out so we can do a little bit of breeding, a little bit of giveaways, so we can start creating an actual giveaway base.
Yep. Building that coop
makes sense, right?
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we got a nice rare bird in there, and looking to be getting some more, I think, later, right? Can't wait. So
easy to think that moving walkway was like one Ethereum just about a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it shot up.
Floor price.
Yeah, this space just simply doesn't have the patience, and I understand why. Every single project you see.
Uh-oh.
Ja Rule bought one for like 0.45. And then now they're like 0.19. So just, you still see just people that seemingly know what they're doing, or they're veterans, or you think they've been around for a while, still making crazy decisions. So everyone's chasing the quick buck. And as soon as the hype begins, I'm still as confident as ever in that regard, that things are going to get really wild around here once that hype begins. And it's going to be very organic and natural.
Better hold on to those chickens.
Yeah, we had a little technical glitch there, Tyler. We all froze, and then I was the only one unfrozen, and I kept saying "rut-row."
Oh no!
Oh, nobody could hear anybody.
Yeah, Josh just going "uh-oh" while everyone else froze.
Oh no!
That's perfect. Yeah.
Are we back up?
Yeah, I think we're good. You guys aren't frozen on my end anymore.
Are we?
We've been hacked. Oh no! Daniel has hacked us. I knew it.
Oh my goodness!
I think the summary was that we're not here for a quick BAWK, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That man hurts my heart. He had a better pun than me.
Oh.
I've been slacking on my pun game. He just came in and got me a kill shot.
Yeah, Tyler. That's when you did come back. Right when you said Ja Rule jumped in.
Ja Rule, perfect time to come back.
Perfect time.
Ja Rule ball. I was trying to pump DJs. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. So before we dive into a little bit of roadmap and a lot more detail about Whitebeak Gang and spread out and give a little bit of floor to Daniel. Obviously, we love highlighting people in the community that are doing some creative stuff. And I'm humbled yet again it's one of those funny situations where you just aren't expecting anything to come from anybody, and then you still have people showing up wanting to help out, wanting to give advice, wanting to give technical help, wanting to give presents. And at WT7791 weeks ago asked me, "What's your favorite bird?" And I was like, "Well, it's this guy. It's chicken 3595." And I didn't think anything of it.
Does he have a name yet?
He does have a name now. And sure enough, Josh, can you pull that little tweet up I sent over to you?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm working on that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys. I think it was at Ogden in the Chicken Coop chat is making glassware and pipes out of the chickens. That was awesome.
Yep.
And I love anyone who's doing this stuff. And this was very cool. And sure enough, when it popped up, I didn't know my chickens by heart, but when I saw 3595, I was like, wait a second, that's got the same eyes and everything. And sure enough, he has put together a very cool, it looks like a piece of glass that has fluorescent lights coming through it. And Josh, once you have that up, we can show that off. And in this post there, he actually said that he can basically do this with any NFT. And it's just something that he thinks that, people might like. And I love the creativity.
Yeah, I like the idea.
I got her pulled up right. Yeah,
I do like the idea of bringing the NFTs to fungible situations.
Play the video here. Hang on, let me get this muted. Sorry, don't want to blast anybody.
Let's go to green.
Oh, Dawson Wapple asked if the No Eye Chicken has a name. I don't know. I haven't checked on that yet.
But yeah, this is.
I'll check on that again.
Wasn't it Stevie Wonderfowl?
It might just be. Yeah, of course, we're having issues loading in. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, this has clearly been etched out, and it's got an individual in there. And then when we actually have your names, you can throw the name up there.
That looks badass. If it would load.
I love that. It won't load up?
Oh, it is. It's just
yeah, no eyes confirmed. Stevie Wonderfowl. Excellent.
There we go. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, this is awesome. And then he contacts me and he goes, "Hey, you want me to send this to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do.
Please."
Take it abuse from you guys. Today. I'll take presents. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Happy birthday to me.
All sorts of colors.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me for a change.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I didn't do it in honor of this. It was the first bird that I actually did name, and I was like, you know what? Fine, you jerks. I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to go ahead and name my profile bird Happy Birthday. So there you go. You guys won. I hope you're happy.
It does kind of look like birthday cake, though.
Yeah, there it is. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So when Happy Birthday is running by you, I hope that everyone's just angry now when this thing is crushing you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Here's your present.
Yeah, me on the podium.
Yeah, I'll be making that my background as soon as I win one with him. We did it. WT says. Yes, the bullies won. Congratulations.
Oh, that is great. All right.
Yeah, imagine losing the Happy Birthday is right. Okay, so now we got the fun out of the way. Now we get to the serious stuff. And by serious stuff, we just mean the awesome White Beak Gang that we're featuring today. Josh is going to pull up the roadmap here, and we're going to just kind of spread out a little bit and get into a little bit of details because naturally, I remember early on, it was funny, Daniel, people were kind of like talking about it being like, oh, you're just artificially pumping white beaks, or it's like, oh, what's better about your gang? And like other people showed up with gangs and we're like, oh, vampire gang, this and that. And then we learned just an iota of what you were doing. And we're like, this is going to be a short battle.
Yeah. Well, it's not, but I don't want to call it a battle because again, we're here for everybody.
Right.
But,
right.
I mean, yeah, but we are very serious about what we're doing. We are not in any way pumping or trying to manipulate anything. We're here to add value, and that's what we're about.
That's what excites me about it. That's what kind of got us thinking like, wow, this is cool. This is the same kind of mentality that we're looking to bring to the table, to bring a level of just welcoming to the community. And the more that we can create, the more that we can kind of bring under this umbrella, the idea that, we are going to have new listeners, not just new listeners, but new users show up, and immediately they're met with some interesting content, some interesting choices, and some different places they can show up and, just kind of find themselves immersed with probably more than you know how to handle, but hopefully through our different servers, they'll be able to start, understanding and grasping it faster than not.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right here, the first line of the roadmap. It's all about community. White beak holder or not, everyone is welcome. Listen, Tyler and I just happened to be white beak holders before Daniel even started.
Yeah.
And
I bought
Blake
a Serrano
white beak. That
Didn't
doesn't mean
realize
he's not welcome. Anybody's welcome. White beaks or not. But yeah, I don't know if you got this pulled up, Daniel, or not, if you want to go through your tutorial a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, basically, as we said, the Discord is open to everybody, and that is not in any way restricted. There are, however, sections of it that will be restricted to people with white beaks only, and that is to make sure that we do continue to all work together within those common goals and within those parameters that we're setting up and continuing to add value to that community. But yeah, it's open to everybody, and going through just a roadmap, discussing this. One big thing that we're doing to kind of add value right away is introducing the idea of these like free snacks, right? So if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen a couple other NFT projects like Crypto Dads, for example, they offer free coffee to their members. we're doing something quite similar. We have a shared card, and it's basically available to everybody that has a Whitebeak, and it's inside of the Whitebeak Gang. And that gets reloaded weekly, and it's for everybody to use, right? Because we want to make sure that everybody is immediately able to get some value out of the community, and they don't feel, left out in any way. Because we do have a lot of giveaways that we're doing, and some people don't win, and they do want to make sure that they're still benefiting, and enjoying being in this group. So.
And that's cool to put a real life, reward right off the bat before we even got going here. It's cool.
I've taken advantage of it twice. Not gonna lie, I've gotten coffee. Good. So thanks to the Whitebeaks,
I hope
got
you guys
me some
continue.
juice.
No, I like what you touched on too about the whole real life aspect as well. Of course, we're all starting from this NFT world, this NFT game, and this is where it's all the core of it. But this extends way beyond that, right? Like the applications for this technology, for these communities, I mean, it extends way beyond this metaverse and into the real world as well. And that's something that we're trying to definitely, drive home. In terms of, the giveaways, we do a lot of those. We do have several running right now. If you guys are watching live, make sure that you guys enter those. Oh, yeah. They are inside of our Discord, because several of them will be gone by the time this stream is over. So don't miss out.
Should we talk about the giveaways a little bit? What are you giving away?
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's get into that. So we're giving away 5 Whitebeaks tonight. 2 of those are going to be a Door King and a Lake Invader that will be available exclusively to people that don't have a Whitebeak yet. So if you join the server right now, you're going to be assigned a new beak role, and that's going to give you access to that. People who do join the server and have a Whitebeak will be verified, and they will get access to the other 3 birds, which will be a Door King, a Lake Invader, and a Sultan. In addition to that, we also have some merch that we're giving away, and a Discord Nitro Classic subscription as well. Dang. Which, if you guys have seen the recent updates, they just recently allowed you to have different server profiles for every server that you're in. So if you are involved with multiple different projects, you can now configure that based on each one. So
which is awesome.
I think that's really cool.
Found myself there a few times.
New cool feature. Yeah, but
haven't been in the NFT snipers chat in a while because no one would recognize my name anymore because I'm not just what I used to be. I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, if anyone's hanging around the Whitebeak Gang, like Daniel said, it is open for everyone to join. We can drop that. We can drop the invite link right into the main chicken coop anyone.
And just to be clear, those giveaways are in your giveaway section of your chat, of the Whitebeak Gang chat and Discord.
Absolutely. Yep. So on both our Twitter and on our website, we do have links to that. And right when you join the server, there will be a WB giveaways, and that will be just for the 2 Whitebeaks. That will only be for people that do not have a Whitebeak yet. So if you already have a Whitebeak, then this will be in another channel.
I got the link. Should I drop the invite link into the YouTube
already
chat?
Did. Oh, you drop it in the YouTube chat. I don't know if people are. I guess people are using it through computers. It should come through. I just dropped it through Chicken Coop chat on Chicken Derby. So anyone hanging around there,
I'll try
can
it.
Also find their way through.
Oh, there it is. We'll see. Try that out. See if it works, people.
I just joined.
69 users in the chat. Nice.
And so. Just to clarify too, if you are watching this and you are not live here, there will be several long running giveaways inside of the main chat. So get a Whitebeak, get verified. If you don't win, there's still opportunities. So just putting that out there. But yeah, and I guess the next thing to go into would be the website itself, which we've launched just very recently. And that is going to be the place where we're going to be hosting these announcements in the future. We have a roadmap up there that we're going through at the moment. Our showcase section, which goes into our different merchandise and different gear that we've put together for the group. And then our partner section, where you guys are obviously featured. And it goes into the different groups and different people that have also help add additional value into this. So Shotwell Candy, shout out to him. He's another one as well.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he's
do
popular
you?
around here.
Do you know?
Yeah, I do know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got his candy right here.
Oh,
Doing it again.
Always on you.
For all you lip smackers. Sorry,
God.
it's happening.
it's
Bad.
ridiculous.
It's bad radio, Tyler.
I don't care.
Josh's
Hey,
favorite part.
I don't know what to tell you. Oh, hold on, I gotta get
Jeez
some.
Christ.
Whoa.
Oh, how'd that
Hey,
go?
there we go.
No.
Oh, jeez.
We
I don't
gave
know
some
how
away
to go there.
recently.
He's gone.
Sorry about that.
We gave some
sold
away
out.
recently inside of the White Beak Gang, and people went crazy over them. They, all commented the fact that it does not stick to your teeth. It's ridiculously tasty. So get some.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, see, I just ate one. Now I'm talking. Sound totally fine. Not unprofessional at all, Josh.
Yeah.
try that with
You know-
anything else.
I appreciate Shotwell so much. I feel like I should just do a full can hit for him. No. You okay with that, Josh?
No.
Okay, well. Shotwell Candies. If you want some gourmet candies, homemade, then you need to go to shotwellcandycompany.com.
Good Lord.
What? What's wrong with that?
Terrible.
How is that terrible?
Well, other than sounding like a total sellout, that I don't know.
What do you think you could do
Gotta
better?
hit it home. Yeah.
Could you?
Shotwell Candy Company. Delicious caramel. Be awesome. Eat caramel.
Oh.
Boom.
Ha. No, I'm the winner. No, I did.
Caramel. Isn't it caramel?
It is caramel. Jeez, this guy can't even say it right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sell out properly. Everybody in the chat, why don't you hit up CockTalk20
Am I the
for
only
a
one that's
20% off
unfrozen?
at shotwellcandyco.com.
You know what, Josh? Just for that, I will not mention Shotwell Candy next week.
Good.
I will not say shotwellcandycompany.com, cocktalk20 next week. I won't do it.
CockTalk is not a sellout.
Hashtag Caramel Collective.
Stop. Let's move on. Chicken stuff. We
Oh
got
my
chicken
gosh,
stuff. We
okay.
got White Beaks here. Let's go. I see
Yeah.
a token up here.
Oh
Uh-oh.
gosh, yes.
We
So
lost Blake. Oh, there he is.
My internet went out for a second.
Oh man, all sorts of issues around
be
here.
back. Yep, our token launch. That is a big thing. We right now at the moment are going to be regulating our admission through these white chickens, and that is, again, as you mentioned, how you get access into the more exclusive areas of the group. The future, though, we are going to be regulating all of this through our NFT token launch. So we're going to be launching a token, and this is going to be basically validated through Collabland. We'll be assigning roles through them and also controlling a lot of the group activities and operations through these tokens. So expect that there will be a total of 2,171 tokens, one for each of the White Beaks. So those will be available, and we'll have a lot more details on that in the future.
So you get a token for each White Beak you own if you own multiples?
Yes, that's right.
That's
Oh, it's a
awesome.
good thing we just talked about tokens last week. That's good.
Yeah.
Looks like you know what we're doing around here.
We may perhaps.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, no.
I see Blake was tired of all the shilling and just left for a minute.
Yeah.
Glad
blame
to have you back.
Ridiculous.
My internet didn't like the shilling, I guess.
Start shilling out.
Must be a
tokens.
cox
I mean, I love the idea of just the tokenization and tokenomics and everything that can come from that. It's just as soon as you start throwing that out there and you start getting that that kind of membership feel to it, it's really cool because it's endless. We've had a lot of talks with Daniel off to the side about his plans and whatnot, and a lot of it he's been open and transparent. But I mean, there's so much that he has planned and so many things that he's really excited about. We're excited to be a part of it too because it's a natural connection. And we're going to be making sure that our number one goal for both of us really is just to harbor a type of community that everyone claims they have. Everyone claims that they have the best communities, that they have the best setup, that they are there for the people. Well, we really are, because the three of us for sure. We know Daniel's a little bit of high roller now. Recently got the Cluck Norris. Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy.
The three of us,
Hey,
we're still middle of the road guys, just trying to get up there and trying to make it. So, we're all about it, and we're really happy to have Daniel aboard.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll be losing that Cluck Norris after tonight, so.
Oh, there you go. Hey, dedication, even better.
Baku.
Baku?
Haku, perfect. We've heard a lot of people asking about Haku, and yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. If you guys are familiar with the Zed-Run community, then you already know about this. Haku and Know Your Horses, and actually several other projects now, they all provide a service to their communities where they allow you to go in and analyze your NFT horses, right? You can see their performance, you can see how they rate, and it allows you to just take a much more in-depth look at what you're buying and really helps you build strategy out, because they go in to a lot of the finer details of how these things perform, right? Their analysis and what they provide really is an invaluable service to that community, and I don't know how I would be able to operate without it. So I think it's imperative that we bring the same value over here as well to the Chicken Derby community, and this will be available to everybody. This will not be in any way exclusive. So look out for that, and that's definitely something really exciting that we're looking forward to bringing.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked in the past that was the whole reason we created our Coop Collective.io chat, or our Coop Collective chat first and foremost, is because we planned on analyzing and trying to do our own in-house stuff to figure out who's the best racer, what's the best racer, what's the best track to be on, and what talents are the most devastating, even all the way down to uncommon and common talents. It's a tool that people are itching for, and we were definitely, we talked about this in the past. It's just excellent, I think, to jump on this, this soon, and just to get the data out there to people. And as you guys know or may not know, once beta racing does go launch, eventually that data will be wiped. But assuming probably when talents get deployed and open when the game's released, most likely.
I'm really glad you bring that up, because something that I also wanted to touch on is the fact that we recognize that a lot of people within the community are looking at this beta phase as an opportunity for them to test run their chickens. And if you get a bad chicken, a lot of people are planning to leave them unraised for the main release and basically sell them off to people without them knowing the history behind that. This has happened a lot in other communities where beginners are taken advantage of, and we don't see this as a good thing. One thing that we are trying to do in order to kind of, combat that is we will be taking all of the data that is generated from the beta racing, and we're planning to aggregate that ourselves. And we're planning to introduce that through our website and on Baku, or whatever it becomes called, and allowing people to sift through that historical data. So in the future, we want to make sure and protect these people and make sure that people are not taken advantage of, and that historical data will be accessible to them.
I honestly don't think that there can be much advantage. It's going to be taken, because once you factor in the talents and the tweaks that they're going to make beyond it, that original historical data is just that. It's going to be good for us to have, to find out and get the, okay, what birds run good on what, that kind of thing. But when it comes to like a specific bird being good, that can all either, you could have the best bird in beta, and then once talents are deployed,
it could get
for whatever reason, its talents don't get deployed as much.
Right.
If it's all random, just because we both have teleport doesn't mean that it's going to go off at the same time,
Absolutely. And, you definitely are bringing up a lot of good points, right? We're looking at things like terrain preference. Mm-hmm. I mean, the talents themselves, the perfection, heritage. There's a lot to look at. But one thing that really I think we want to address is the people that are planning to not race their chickens at all during their main races, right? There's a lot of people in the Zed community right now that make a very sizable profit monthly by selling offspring of unraised horses. And because they know that there is no data available for those parents, it's essentially a full lottery ticket. People don't want to buy a horse from a parent that has a poor track record. So it basically, it starts to benefit these people to keep that data unknown. I totally agree. Once talent comes out, people might change that, right? And those unraised chickens might eventually become raised as the talents come out. People want to find out, how does that impact?
And as we touched on too, with the tokenization aspect of it, the developers of Chicken Derby want us to race the birds. So they're going to incentivize us to race our birds. So if there's a bird that's unraced, again, we've been speculating that the lower the dormant birds, they're not going to run good right out of the gates, you know, if they're unraced for
here's
a
the
year.
Thing. I think they've made this game to where all 33,333 of these spicy chickens are good racers on a certain track, on a certain distance, in some form or fashion. They're not I don't think they're, in my opinion, the chickens that are out in the world right now, there are no duds. I can't imagine there being any duds, especially in the grand scheme of things once we hit perfections down in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s and, you know, all of that. You think about, we got 90s and up. Again, minimum. None of these chickens are going to be bad at racing, in my opinion.
And at the end of the day, the most profitable birds are going to be those ones that are raced. They're always, I mean, you're going to get your lottery ticket value. There's going to be those that are just not going to race any, and they're, like you said, but they might be losing value out of those by not racing those too. So it's going to be interesting how they balance that, right? Because we know, based off looking at Zed and some other things, how there's a fine line. But you sharing the data and having that, I think is huge. I mean,
and the part that I like about it is that it's, you know, you expected to say this, but it's falling into the right person's hands. Like, this isn't meant, it's not going to be exploited. It's not going to be put behind a paywall. It's not going to be in some situation where you're going to have to jump over hoops to get to it. It's going to be right there and available. And the more we have of that, it brings in, when if we're hoping to grow this thing out the way that we hope it does, we need new people we don't need them to be profitable right away, but we need them to not get absolutely nerfed the first time they show up. We need to make sure that their first major investment, because especially at this point, your first major investment into this game is not cheap.
No,
it really isn't. And if you,
that boat sailed.
It's cheap now. Even we say it's not cheap because it's definitely not, but it's cheap now compared to what it's gonna be here in 2-3 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Not financial advice.
I mean,
breeding will open up, you know, the new level of entry, and that's going to be a perfect time to really hit the mass marketing button and just turn this thing on. And when that happens, we'll be here. And you know, we'll hope at BAWK. Hopefully, I think it's a perfect name. Honestly, I don't think you need to change the thing on that. We'll be up and roaring, and we'll have a situation where, you know, you can just flat out say, this is your resource. You know, if you want to learn this game, it's right here. As much as you want it, as much as time and effort as you put into it, you will get out of it. And that's not something we see a lot in this world, where it's just like, if you put that much time in and you actually make correct decisions, you can find a path almost every single time to success in your own way, as long as you're staying within your means and obviously making smart decisions.
So, Marco Del Gallo, disagree, unraced will be worth more than poor average racers. Top racers will always get the most. Of course, there's going to be a market for the unraced chickens, absolutely, as there always should be and would be. But if there's a 94 perfection chicken that I can see is a good racer, and a 94 perfection chicken that I can't see because it's never been raced, I might pay just a little bit more for that bird that I know that's been raced. You know, it's just those kind of things. Here's what I'm looking for, though. I'm more likely to buy a race bird anyways, because I'm going to look for the owners that aren't racing their birds right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the diamonds in the rough. I think that is going to be a better indicator than the lottery ticket. Let somebody else race those and buy that lottery ticket and race it. And then when they race it wrong, and they drop the price, I'll buy it.
Well, that's just it. I'd buy it. I would buy a bird that has a terrible record on it if it's a spicy, and that just means, in my opinion, that they couldn't figure out what it's good at, or you know what I mean, or they just were careless with it and just raced
and
whatever.
You know what? Just in dealing with probabilities,
bad luck.
Like it's a really difficult thing to wrap your head around probabilities. It's like the gambler's fallacy. Every single time you roll a die, you have the same exact odds of getting those numbers every single time. Just because the same number pops up 5 times doesn't mean that the numbers change. It's the same exact percentage. So you could just have a chicken that simply wasn't their day, just didn't work out for them. And you could have a lot of times where it shows up where it's like a 50-50 bird, and it just had some bad luck, or like we said before, didn't have the right conditions. And that really is what sets this apart from Zed, is that in Zed, there are only so many parameters for what is a good racer. Here, there are so many more, traits, characteristics, and of course, the actual races that you're racing in that will decide if you have a good racer or not. So yes, there is going to be a market for unraced birds. I believe that.
Absolutely.
But I also believe
we're
that
buying them now. Every bird is unraced now.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, down the line,
there.
there's going to be there's going to be a market for people who just want to buy in that regard, and then there's going to be other people who think that they have a little bit of an edge on the game, and they've looked into it, and they say, yeah, I'm going to take my shot here, and the lower record birds will be cheaper and easier to get.
At White Pickle, are they going to have practice runs that don't count against your record? No, not that I'm aware of, but the early, if you're an open,
does the chick race
beta,
count?
An open beta, I believe all the beta stats will be wiped.
Yes.
Once we go to full release. So
there's a chick race, right? I wonder if that counts on your record. That very first race of when we breed chickens.
Yeah.
There's a chick race, I think is what they call it, right? That was
before
the very
it establishes.
first.
Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah, and then that's what it establishes its PO, right? Remember we read that,
right?
I wonder if that chick race counts against your record, though. That's going to be interesting.
Maybe
to
that's
find
just
out.
your placement race.
Maybe,
but
other than that,
most of the chickens already have a 40. If it's 40 to 59 as the pecking order in Class B, I mean, if you got a 40, it's going to be a minute before you hit up to 59.
Well, and that chick race isn't even going to come into play until we start breeding, anyways, and the babies start racing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rock Legends Punk in the chat. This is something that we've kind of we brought up before, and in these spaces, you just know this is how it is because this is the way humans are. He said the social proof provided by the cosmetics is going to be huge as well. Racing will be big, but a losing chicken that looks awesome will still have some type of utility.
Right.
And there's the opportunity of, I think I can make that chicken work, and I love the way it looks.
Well,
right.
And for those that weren't, we've been in the Discord since the early days, and long before I think even the first drop, there was some talk of when the metaverse happens about, potential different types of beauty contests and things like that. So cosmetics are going to play a much bigger role down the line in the looks of your birds, I believe. Initially up front with the racing, I mean, as we've speculated, everything may have an impact to the races themselves. But from a value standpoint, I think the cosmetics and all that is really going to play a part down the line.
Yeah. There are definitely some people out there that are breeding almost exclusively targeting cosmetics. And I think that's a big differentiating factor about this, NFT game that is not present in a lot of others, right? Where we do have a lot of variation in these looks, and they look amazing enough that you would put them as your profile picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could say the same about, a lot of these other NFTs out there. So
yeah, these are great. I mean, they have personality to them. They really do. When I see them, I still can't bring myself to buy an exhausted eye. Like, it just looks stupid. Like, and then here I am flooding exhausted eyes again. I just can't do it. It's the way I'm a simple creature in that regard.
So to continue on with Daniel's White Beak Gang tutorial or roadmap here, we got we went over the the BAWK and how the data that we hope to be able to compile in the future and you know, even with beta being reset, we'll still hopefully have that data so you can look back on chickens and see, you know, just how they performed without talents and with talents eventually. So but this next part is the interesting part that I'm interested in, and that is the DAO.
Yes. So the White Beak Gang DAO, that is a major undertaking that is currently underway, where it essentially is our collaborative approach to asset management as a team. There are other examples of this already in place. Recently, there was a Bored Ape Remix DAO where they have something like 80 Bored Apes and some horses and a few other NFTs, and they aggregate them together and basically collectively own them. There are a lot of things that are planned for Whitebeak Gang where there is a sense of collective ownership within the community, and the DAO is going to be most likely the easiest way for us to be able to help structure that and to facilitate that. So we're going to have a lot more information on how to qualify for that, exactly what's entailed, but definitely keep an eye out for that. That's something that is really, really big in our roadmap that we have a lot of some crazy plans for.
So for the crypto noobs out there, can you explain what a DAO is?
Yes, definitely. A DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And what that is essentially a smart contract that helps facilitate the common execution of different tasks for a group. So in this case, this DAO, and there are examples of this in Zed, for example, will collectively own, run, breed, buy and sell chickens and other NFTs as well. We're looking at Zed as well, on behalf of the community. So money is raised typically through a minting of an NFT, and those will have different tiers. Typically, they will have voting rights. So it's community operated and dictated. Everyone gets to have a vote if you have a seat in the group. So that is really how it gets operated. And it's just a way to securely manage all of these assets as a group without having one singular person or group of people in charge of them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's that. And to do that, I think we talked about before about the idea of like stabilizing the floor prices of these white beaks and sweeping them, right? This is kind of how that happens, right? You raise these funds, you go and you provide a set floor price, and you don't let anything fall beneath that because you have assets available. Other groups have done things like collateralized loans against their NFTs, where you put an NFT into this DAO and you borrow, say, up to 50% of its worth against it, right? Against your collateral. And then you basically pay that back minus fees, et cetera. So there's like a lot of really crazy things that a DAO helps facilitate. And if we can structure this appropriately, it would add just tremendous value to, everyone.
Absolutely. Those things, they add value to the holders. They add value to the people, coming in and using the birds, and it's something for everybody. And those are things that, as a community, it's awesome to be jumping in and be a part of.
Well, at the moment, when my wife sees the little Ethereum or the WETH symbol, she calls them Gemmies. And it's not real money yet. And she doesn't see it as real money. So these are ways you can look at it and say, beyond just the Gemmies that are sitting there that I won't let you have yet, these are other things that we can do. We can actually take these things that we own and get a loan against them. Like, that's amazing. They are your assets. We should be using them in that sense. And we are so early to the proceedings of what these assets really can be, that this is really just a small step that could set up such a larger entity in the end that is probably going to drive the IRS absolutely crazy, and that's fine by me.
Oh yeah, seriously, yeah. And that's another big reason why formalizing this and doing this the right way above board and getting it all structured appropriately is very important.
Yeah.
Definitely make sure we don't run afoul of any agency.
Hey, done another pun. Jesus.
Sorry.
Okay, gang. I'm so interested. I'm not thinking about being funny.
Sorry.
So,
well played.
So this last part here of your roadmap, I see the White Beak Gang incubator. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so a big way that we want to help add value back into the community is by supporting the community directly, right? With funding for their projects. We want to be able to have the community vote on projects that it feels very strongly aligned with and something that they feel that they want to support as a group. It's available only to White Beak Gang, members, but we will, once we have the funds in place, be able to support you guys, provide the necessary talents and expertise. We already have several people talking to us about doing collaborative NFT launches, where we would help them with the coding and the marketing, and stuff like that, where we really want to help pair people together and make these markets happen. We don't want an idea to be held back just because of a lack of funds, right? We believe very strongly in our community and we want to show that. And this is how we do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm still floored by it all. And just, when we started this, it's funny. Blake had big ideas and I thought he was crazy. And now Daniel has big ideas and I think he's a genius. So sorry, Blake.
It's okay.
I'm coming around.
Here's the thing. Around. You've essentially added so much more utility to a chicken that already had utility.
Well, that's the thing, right?
You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's some people like, wait a second, these are the same chickens we're going to raise? And
no,
it's like,
by all means, we're not
yes.
pumping white beaks or anything, but to just think about the things that Daniel has talked about and the things that you can benefit just by owning a white beak, or it's just awesome that the
white beaks
can come
themselves,
up with things like this.
The white beaks themselves are just the fuel for the fire. Like that's the interesting part of it, is that you don't have to have it. If you do, it benefits you. And by the way, it's not like white beaks won't be bred, so there'll be plenty of more spaces open once we start breeding. So it's never going to be just a closed group where you'll never have that again. You'll have that same, if everything's done properly, it'll be a similar percentage of where it is now, and that's fine. But there's still benefits for everybody to be a part of it, and that's where it was funny early in the chat when it felt like a battle. It felt like a, us versus them kind of thing. Who's the best? And I know all of that was just done in fun. But yeah, this is really a collaborative, communicative kind of, just
a great effort, honestly.
Larger idea than any of us probably even initially thought it could be. And we just keep growing out.
I mean, what projects have community-driven utility around a project already that has utility?
The ones that do well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, and listen, it doesn't have to just be white beaks. There are plenty of other traits out there that are rare enough that people could rally around behind and take notes and do the same thing and add utility to those as well. I mean, it's just opening the door. And that's what's awesome about our chicken community, and I love it. Everybody's just been helping everybody, and like you, we wouldn't, not saying we wouldn't be here without you, but we would not be as far as we are right now, or everything that we've accomplished so far without a little bit of your hand in it. So, like I said, thank you for sure.
Of course, no, definitely.
Go ahead.
No, just like, like you guys are, like you said, like, it's not all about the white beaks. It's just like what we happen to have, consolidated on.
Right.
And, it's nice that there are a lot of them, because we don't want them to be exclusive, and we will be breeding them. There will be more. And, to just touch on that real quick too, about the breeding, being a White Beak Gang too, there are a lot of benefits that we aren't going to even be able to get into tonight. One thing though, that I think is really interesting that, is I think another big driving factor, is people that are part of it do get breeding rebates. So if you are in the group and you want to breed with the chickens that are owned by the group, you automatically get those breeding rebates sent back to you. So your ability to produce these chickens drastically goes up, because your cost is very low. And in Zed right now, we're seeing this happen where the prices have essentially equilibrated, where the average price, it's about what it's only profitable if you own both horses, and you're able to get that discount. So I think by providing this to our community. It's just one more layer of value that we can add to keep, those people satisfied.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the fun part. You could take your vampire or your classic or your eye patch or your alien eyes, and you could breed it with a white beak, and you could intermingle the two clans. Why not?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
that's the fun
big
part.
old party.
Well, if you stop by, why don't you like and subscribe with the podcast there, and
and make sure that you're also liking and subscribing to both at White Beak Gang and at Cock Talk Derby on Twitter in order to be eligible for the giveaways that Daniel has so graciously set up for our listeners tonight.
Do you want to hit on those one more time? Talk about them quick, since we got quite an audience so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
for
just
the
to
late
recap. Yeah, absolutely. So to recap on it, you have, in order to qualify, as mentioned, you have to be following both Cock Talk Derby and White Beak Gang. And in addition to that, you want to be joining our Discord to find them in the first place. Once you join, there will be a WB giveaways channel, which will be exclusively for people that don't have a White Beak yet. If you don't have a White Beak, enter those two in there, and hopefully you'll win one. If you do have a White Beak, go ahead and post a picture of your White Beak in any of the text channels or message me directly. When you join, you'll get a message explaining that. And I will verify your role and get you into the White Beak channels. From there, you'll have a regular giveaways channel with 3 different birds to win, 6 different merch prizes, and a Discord Nitro Classic subscription. Yeah.
See, people, this is how someone who has their shit together actually does a giveaway instead of me, who just goes, "Hey guys, say something about something real quick," the chat, and I'm gonna type things furiously because I do everything by the seat of my pants.
Because I want pain.
I am here to be your jester. Everyone else is a smart one.
Jump in that Discord and click on react to the emote of the celebration. I just jumped in there and got it. I don't know if I can win or not, but
no, yeah, you guys are all eligible, absolutely, and you guys would be getting your own merch. Like you guys are taken care of. Yeah, no.
If I win, I'll give it away on the show live next week or something. That's
there we go.
I won't.
Love it.
I won't.
I'm keeping it. Just kidding. I will. Yeah, I actually will.
I don't have a White Beak, so I'm keeping it. I don't give a damn.
You
what
better
anybody
get in
says.
on the non-White Beak owner giveaways.
No, we're gonna change that.
Bud.
That's great.
So yeah, for our next segment, we're about an hour into this thing, and we got brought to our attention a suggestion on Twitter about us purchasing a chicken live on the show and how we go about finding that certain chicken.
Yes, we all have very different processes. That's for sure.
Yes, we definitely do. And while I'm getting that ready, actually, Daniel, what's your process, actually? Do you just search for the White Beaks, or are you looking for any and everything of value that you think could be good?
Well, I would be lying if I said I didn't have a bias. But that being said, no, I totally have a lot of White Beak chickens, non-White Beak chickens as well. And I think that you should not in any way restrict yourself, diversify. Not financial advice, but do it. It's important, especially in this game when we are so early in and we don't know what's going on, that you do have your bases covered. And I mean, for me personally, I've been favoring the talents, so it's good to see that those have dropped. I know a lot of other people looking at perfections, but I think for me, I definitely am looking at cosmetics plus talents together. I think that's going to be the big seller.
Yeah, I find myself kind of diving directly into talents first, and I know that's a problem. Like I need to make sure that I'm giving myself a little bit more of a skew away from that, because that's where I've made my biggest bet over and over again. So I do keep trying to find, to jump through, but I end up finding myself at stripes first. Like it seems like and maybe that's just because weeks ago I was just scanning through and I keep opening stripes. And sure enough, there was somebody selling a stripe for like 0.12 and it had no business being there. And I got lucky. super lucky. So I actually tend to find myself going to the really rare stuff first and just seeing if there's something that shouldn't be there that's rare. And that's kind of where my process begins.
I look up stripes too first, typically.
Yep, there he is.
That's funny. I generally, when I'm looking for, excuse me, generally when I'm looking for anything, I will jump to the recently listed page quick just to see if anybody said anything out there that shouldn't be there, and then I generally just go from there. I'll jump in and look at stripes, pop in some perfections, see where the floors are. Get off of stripes, go to specific heritage. Generally, since I know I can't afford a Cerama, I'll just jump to the Sultans, see what their floor is, then pop up the perfections up in my price range, then talents. It's just kind of one of those things. Everybody's got a process and a budget, and trying to stay within that budget is sometimes tough. And when I've seen people ask in the chat, like newcomers, hey, I've got X amount. What should I buy? Do I buy one chicken or do I buy multiple chickens? And well, that's almost as what came first, the chicken or the egg type question in this world. So everybody's got their own opinion on it, and it's one of those things that it should be best suited for what you want. And sometimes like us, what we plan to do here is just kind of we've all three of us, Blake and Tyler and myself, before the show, we kind of looked for some chickens. We had a budget of 0.2 was our max that we got in the wallet, and we all went out and searched and found some chickens, and we've all got different methods to our madness. But believe it or not, and funny enough, we came back with some of the same chickens in some results. And
hey guys, Blake uses a pen and paper still.
Yeah. Blake does it old school, long hand.
He's the old man of the group.
Well, it was easier to have my phone and then a pen so that I could just make some quick, calculations.
I still do it from time to time. I get it. Nothing. I'll get myself completely twisted if I could just go through too many tabs and start absolutely just swirling my brain with that.
I still use half technology.
Yeah. Forever have technology.
Yeah,
that's better than me. Like I'm the one thing I do, and like obviously, like just as a precursor here, because we do have our manager Dave banging on the door, making sure not financial advice here, guys. Just going through our process. Thanks, Dave. The one thing that I do like to do is I like to, and I know floors are very much fabricated and artificial in a lot of times, but last night we were looking at birds. And we ended up getting our first Coop Collective bird, and it was in the 96 moving walkway for 0.2. And what I like to do is once I've identified that bird, I like to just grab all different kind of filters around that bird to see if I am possibly creating value that isn't there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'll go right to perfection and I'll just keep dropping down. So from 96, I go 95, 94, 93, and I see how long does that remain at the floor. And this one in particular was the floor of 92. And it just made perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, and the overall floor was like 0.175. And it's like, all right, at that point, it was a screaming buy. And I'm like, I need to get these other three guys to say okay, because we agreed everyone would have to say okay before buying. And I'm like, Josh, just put like a 175 offer on it until they get back to us. And sure enough, everyone went ahead and we decided to buy it. So I think that's important. Really check yourself. Make sure you're not fabricating. Make sure you're not making don't go to just like helicopter 92 and be like, oh, look, the next helicopter 92 is 0.3. It's like, all right, well, what about the other ones? So it's very important to do that so you don't trick yourself, because there's a lot of ways to make really good buys right now. There's probably more ways to make good buys right now, but obviously there's birds on the market that will that are not priced where they should be. So just always double check in that regard. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are already doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Blake, absolutely. Tell us about this long hand. And do you want me to pull the chicken up?
Well, are we gonna wait? Are we gonna? How are we gonna do this? Are we gonna spin or no? Are we gonna?
Well,
do we spin first and then talk about our birds?
If we show our bird, they're gonna get taken.
We know we can't trust them.
Or is my bird already gone?
Trust them. No, they're all still there. They're all still there.
Okay, do not tell them our birds.
Okay.
Spin the wheel.
Pro tip too, don't favorite on OpenSea. Save a hyperlink so that way people look for birds that are highly favorited and they know that they're in high demand.
There you go.
Do not share them until we spin the wheel.
How about we'll share them after we've chosen.
Yeah, we'll tell them the process.
And here's what we're gonna do. We're actually going to spin a wheel and decide which one we're gonna buy. Each one of us has staked our claim. I just have Blake, Tyler, and Josh on the wheel. I'm stealing the screen.
So we'll spin. We'll pick the bird we're gonna buy, and then we'll break down our process of how we land.
You buy it while we're talking it. Whoever's
Yes.
10-4.
All right. So let me just go ahead and steal this screen once Josh decides to give it to me. There we go. Okay. And here's our wheel. Nice and simple.
Why'd you give me like puke green?
Listen, I hate these colors and I wish I could change them, but we've used this one every single time and I'm sticking with it. And you're definitely puke green. So, all right, we'll see which bird we buy here. I hope it's not Blake's.
Give me mine. I want to buy my chicken.
Are buying my bird.
All right.
I am the best.
Good.
There we go.
So while you're buying his bird, I'll tell you what my bird was.
Yes.
In fact, so I was we had a budget of 0.2 and I was really trying to find the best buy that I could. So mine was more budget conscious, I guess you would say, rather than just thinking about maximizing my 0.2.
Yeah, I think Blake's was no doubt the best
you can
value.
Give me the screen back, Tyler.
All right.
And let me give you guys the number here.
Yeah, no doubt this one was the best value for the full budget we had. We gave 0.2 as a total, but you didn't have to hit 0.2. It just happens mine was 0.2 because I'm a rich bitch.
So by hand, basically I came out with a little chart, right? And my chicken that I picked was a 97 Lackenvelder, chicken number 8372. And he was going for 0.14. So I would have still had that bird plus a bonus bird of about 0.06, like a floor bird potentially. So I was going with the +1 factor. He was a 97. I mean,
it had exhausted eyes, though. You know how I feel about that.
It did. But he had 97 with teleport. So,
yeah, I
still showed a preview.
Did you drop it out there, Josh?
No. What?
Oh, okay. No. Okay, fair enough. All right. Now, Josh, the one you found that we actually sent that over to a text to me, and I was like, yeah, it was I know up to.
Yeah. The one I was checking out, like I said, I usually start with the recently listed page, and I didn't really find anything there. And then I started out looking for, I started with stripes and started going down the list, and actually first checked out like rare talents and the like moving walkways and stuff like that, and try to find a match for our bird that we already have. And those were a little bit out of our price range since the floor moved on us overnight. So I'm glad we got the one we did last night.
Mm-hmm.
So then I moved into the uncommon talents and didn't really find anything there, and jumped it up to 94 perfection, and voila, I found a 94 stripe, and I figured that was an excellent buy. Looking at the floor, looking at just what, where that bird was at compared to the others in the list, it just made a lot of sense. An undervalued bird in my opinion, and it was 0.17, so we'd save a little money.
It's a good buy.
Yeah,
always
go
for the stripes.
So Tyler,
on to the winner.
On to the chicken that I am currently processing on. As my internet is being a little slow.
So naturally, I find myself going towards. I find myself often going directly to uncommon talents, just because I kind of have found that uncommon talents find themselves near the floor way too often, and especially near the floor of their respective professions. So that's usually where I end up. I find myself, sometimes I'll go and just directly be like, all right, I'm looking for rares this time, or I'm looking for this specific cosmetic, and I go and check that out. But in this regard, I went right to my uncommon. I started there, and then I will scroll through, and this is the only bummer for me personally, and the way that I do it with the names. And it's very strange that people have named chickens that they're selling like right away. I do find that a little strange, because what I used to do is I would just go right to uncommon and I would just scroll and look at the numbers. And since I have all the numbers basically locked in my head of what the perfections are, I would just scroll through until I saw something that jumped out to me. And this one jumped out really quickly. And sure enough, it was in the.
Have you bought it yet?
I'm checking. It's still loading. My internet's being really slow, so I'm surprised we're even still on the air, to be honest with you.
Blake's checking. He goes, I don't trust these guys.
All right, we own the chicken.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the sales bot move yet.
Yeah, there we go.
We own the chicken.
We own the chicken. Excellent. Okay.
So now give me a second. I'll get those babies pulled up and we'll show those off.
Yeah, so I don't have to filibuster anymore. We can go ahead and just grab it.
So first off, here's Blake's chicken that he was looking at. It's a nice looking 97, you said?
Yeah, 97 Lackenbuilder.
Yeah, that's cheap. Not financial advice, but there's a reason why that bird was on the wheel, and it's unfortunate we did not land on it. Here's the chicken that I was looking at. Say, like I said, a 94. Teleport is the talent. I think that's going to be a pretty cool talent to see go. Is a rooster. It's got the eggshell color, bulging eyes, as Tyler likes to call the classic look or the default look.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll look at the chicken that we bought. Not mad about it. Thank you,
Best chicken.
UD40, for selling
candy
us this
comb.
Chicken. The candy.
Shotwell candy.
You gotta
Shotwell
love
candy
the
comb.
candy.
Cock Talk 20.
Beautiful.
Shotwellcandy.com. We got our candy comb. Beautiful looking bird.
Yep. Yeah.
96. It's got the triple
There
to
it
it,
is.
which
It's a
is
97, Tyler.
excuse me, it's got 97. It has the
Blue
candy
egg.
comb, which is a 2%, and then the blue egg, which is a 3%. So the blue egg is just a slightly rarer than the rest of the uncommons. We don't know if that'll play into anything yet. We do know that the blue egg is essentially the blue shell from Mario Kart that will take out the leader, which you gotta love. I think everyone's gonna love when the leader gets taken out, besides the leader. So yeah, this is a good looking chick. I'm happy to have it, and I think it's going to be a nice. And it just so happened that we bought a rooster yesterday. This is a hen. I think it worked out perfectly.
I think it did too.
Oh, Marcus
Beautiful
LaFleur, I'm
choice.
sorry. He goes, damn it, I wanted to buy that one.
Sniped
Why we
live
couldn't
on
tell you
Cock
people.
Talk.
I knew it.
Oh,
I
you
knew
just
it.
keep
want
it
up
secret.
funds to pick it up too.
Well, go get one of the
Jeez.
other ones we were looking at, man.
Oh, he doesn't want those. He wants that one that we just stole from him. The guy is in every chat we have, and we just absolutely
Blame the
crushed
wheel.
him.
Blame the wheel. It's all the wheel's fault.
Damn the wheel.
With that royal procession ability that takes you like directly to like the front, that's going to be interesting with that blue egg and see how they kind of play with each other, right?
Imagine
Oh,
a
yeah.
royal getting dropped and then a blue egg right after it. Oh, that'd be
Yeah, it's gonna
devastating.
suck.
Because
yeah,
if
it's
you
like
have
some
an
uncommon
ultra rare,
talent.
That
if you
would
have an
be
ultra
the
rare and it
ultimate.
goes off, you're never going to win every time. But you're like, all right, this is legit. And then the blue egg.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the blue egg.
Man, I don't know.
Blue egg is going to kill some dreams.
See, but black hole doesn't have that, issue. Black hole, you don't have to be in the first, right? I don't know. I think it's
Yeah, it looks like it'll grab anybody, I believe, in shot. So we saw a little sketch up of that. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like when it pops out.
Absolutely. So, I hope you guys enjoyed our show this week. We've kept your time probably long enough. What's the deal with the giveaways for the Whitebeak Gang? Are we doing those now, or are those going to end later?
So the ones for the new people inside of the WB giveaways, we will be ending right now, actually.
Oh. So these are going to the non-White Beak holders, right?
Yes, exactly. So you have about a minute to jump in and make sure you join that. For the White Beak Gang members, those giveaways will be going on for a week, so you got time for that.
Nice.
All right, so let me end those real quick.
White Beak Gang Discord link, please. I don't have it anymore.
It's in the Chicken Coop chat.
Yep. Head to the Chicken Coop Discord chat.
Let me see if I can drop it again real quick. There we are. I dropped it one more time in the Chicken Coop chat, the main Chicken Derby server.
Yeah, and for those of you just stopping by, make sure you like and subscribe to the show.
I legitimately feel bad for Marcus LaFleur. Like I've said his name a bunch of times on this show. And it's absolutely killed by that.
Make sure you
he gets mentioned about as much as happy birthday.
Yeah.
To win the chickens, you gotta follow the White Beak Gang and at Cock Talk Derby on Twitter. Just throwing that out there.
There we go. There's the Discord. Just got dropped in by Trusty Dave, or that was Josh. I don't know at this point.
Pecking order all over.
Okay.
He's the bouncer tonight.
so we've actually already ended it. A little bit fast on the trigger finger there.
That's okay.
But at Goonies and at Kyo, KYO, make sure you guys reach out.
All right.
You guys are the winners.
Honestly, so much less work than what I did. So much less work.
No, definitely. The bot makes it very fast. But so it seems like Kyle won the dorking and Goonies won the lake and building. So you guys just please message me, reach out to me, prove with a screenshot that you followed both of us, and I will get your White Beaks over to you. Everybody else that that didn't win, consider grabbing a White Beak, joining us in the group, and entering the other giveaways that are going on.
Utility on utility, people.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're all about the community here. And I just wanted to say thank you, to the White Beaks in general and you guys as well. You guys made this possible, and you guys are the reason why we're all here. So we're doing this for you guys, and I hope that you're here to enjoy it.
I mean, it's a nonstop every single time that we pop in and something else is being created in this space. It's cool. I keep pinching myself. I keep checking, these things usually fall apart at some point, and this thing's only getting stronger each time we seem to install a new part to it. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome having you on. I've been just kind of listening the best I can and taking in all of this. I think it's just going to be a total game changer in regard to what this community can have. And the cool thing is that I'm sure a lot of people are already worried about is just how I don't want to say infested, but the influx of people that are going to show up in the new Chicken Derby in the original Chicken Derby coop, and it's going to be hard to talk in there. So if nothing else, finding these separate Discords to just be a part of and have a little sub community that's still enjoying it. Our Coop Collective community will eventually be opening, but we're still going through some phases and making sure that we're set up properly, and we want to be where we want to be. And, until then, a lot of us are in the White Beak Gang already, and a lot of us are in that server already. And Blake, good job. Way to join us tonight in the White Beak Gang Discord.
I wanted to do it live. I wanted to see how the process was.
There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
Here's another thing I love to see. Crypto King 0429, former winner of a chicken on this show, congratulating and telling the people who won. I assume he's part of the White Beak Gang. Is this true?
Yeah.
Love to see that community outreach, and that's the other thing.
Absolutely.
Like Philly Tyler, pride. Just to comment on what Tyler said a little. Once the Chicken Coop Discord does explode, and it's going to explode eventually.
This week, maybe racing. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, think about here's what I would relate it to. Think about how if you were early enough to Top Shot, and the Top Shot Discords were pretty quiet and chill and nice and happy for a long time, and all the OGs were just chilling in there, and then all of a sudden Top Shot goes mainstream and it's just a zoo. Like, you
I don't know.
even wanna be in there.
Zoos have the crap inside the cages.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, we do have chickens, so it's probably going to be a zoo.
The Top Shot
Yeah.
Discord, as we know it, is I don't know.
But I assume they'll follow suit with the chicken coop and the Discord in there. And not to say you shouldn't be in there and stay active in there, but it's just going to get a little more complicated to continue having normal conversations like we're used to. And that's what's great about these communities branching out, being welcoming to all that want to come in, whether you have a white beak or not, or whether you are like the Coop Collective. We got the OGs. You don't have to be an OG to be in the Coop Collective. That's the point. We want to welcome everybody in and help.
And we're not public
achieve.
yet, but if you want to part in, just let us know.
Right.
We're at that point right now where as long as you're cool, as long as you're nice, as long as you can have a respectful conversation and you really care about this game, then you're good by us.
Yeah. It's it's amazing to me, honestly. I love it. But I want to for a second, being the second guest on our show, we appreciate you stopping by, Daniel. You had some awesome information. I hope the people out there took something from that and not to influence them to go and buy something, but just to break down the possibilities of what can be with just the white beaks and, what could possibly be with other traits out there if people want to just take the initiative like you did and go for it, because
absolutely,
that's the stuff that's awesome is when people just take the reins and run.
There's a lot of there's a lot of room for this space to grow, and we are very much harbors of that. We are all for whoever you put out a YouTube video, you tag us in it. I'm probably retweeting it. And I run it. So it's like whatever I see out there, whenever anyone even finds something that's a funny meme, even I'll retweet it. I'll put it out there. We want to amp up everybody so they feel like they're part of something here. And we can all just, we'll be competing and fighting for money and the whole bit. But, there's a lot of other things that can come from all of this beyond just that basic concept of, fighting each other for money.
Like I saw a tweet just the other day and I can't remember who it was. So I can't shout him out, unfortunately, or quote him. But it said, if you're not in the NFT space to see other people succeed and be happy for them, then you're doing it wrong. And that's why that's why we're all here. I want to see you guys succeed, everybody succeed. This is something that the sky's the limit, and I just would love to see everybody do awesome. Whether it be on the tracks or in the breeding house or just owning chickens, we're all here to help you out. And with that, I guess that'll conclude our show. Like I said, if you're here, stop by, like and subscribe our channel. Check us out on Twitter at Cock Talk Derby. Check out the White Beak Gang. It's at White Beak Gang on Twitter, correct?
That's right.
All right. Yeah, I am Grateful Coops in the Chicken Coop Discord, at MBF Express here on my left. I got Waddle Waddle Racing Coops on the bottom there, and at Daniel Smith Dev, White Beak Gang down there on the bottom. We are the Coop Collective, and this has been Cock Talk. We will see you later.
See ya.
Till next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
I still can't think of a damn pun. Not one.
Hypo